Okay, we're holding here at the beginning of Chaf Ches Amud Aleph, and the Gemara says that they wanted to ask Rav Elazar ben Azariah to replace Gamliel as the Nasi, and they said okay. And he goes and asks his wife. He said, I want to go ask Ezel v'imlich is the bottom of Zayin. Ezel v'imlich b'Yisai. And what was her reaction? That's what we're waiting to hear. So she says, he says, what do you need this for? Today you take the job, and then do them out the same way they fire Gamliel. Do them out in the chal. So that was her time. So forget this. Now, so he answered a very logical answer. He said, Amrullah, Bishtamish inish yayin choda because of the mukra. Listen, you know, sometimes you buy a very nice glass, and you know it lasts. How long does it last for? It doesn't last forever. It breaks eventually. Today it works. Today's good. And tomorrow's going to fall and break. That's life, you know. What do I care what happens tomorrow? It's what the right thing to do is right now. So you have to understand a little bit what she was asking, what her logic was a little bit. Okay. Amalei, that's a chiyusa, but I understand whoever heard of hiring a nasi that has no white hair? You know, this is ridiculous. Come on, so she's saying it's a joke. It's not going to be serious. So you by the time he was only 18 years old, and he had 18 rows of white hairs in his beard. That's what he said. I look like 70, but I'm not 70. Tana. Okay, we go back to the story. So what happened? So fine. So he got the okay from Rav Moshe Binyomin Friedman. He's been willing to accept the Nesivos, or should say, let's say Nesivos. It says the Gemara says to be the Rosh Yeshiva. Oh no, it does say Nesivos. It comes also, yeah, whatever it was, Nesivos. Top of Chof Ches Amud. So the story goes that on that day, so one of the first reforms that was done by Elizabeth Azariah was he had a different opinion as to who should be allowed to come to the Beis Medrash. He says, we'll see in a minute, anybody, more or less anybody who wants to learn, let him come. So they used to have a Shema Pesach, the guy stood by the door, he said, I'm sorry, you're fired. Now understand what the difference is. Gamliel was machriz. There was an announcement for Omer Kol Talmud. If there's something on the inside that is not consistent with the outside, is ain't toichay kibara. The inside is not like the outside. Lo yikanis the Beis Medrash. You should not enter into this Beis Medrash. You want to learn, go somewhere else. Don't come here. So he disagreed with that. He says, no, we're going to try to teach anyone who wants to learn. So they had to add many benches, several benches in the Beis Medrash to accommodate the new Talmidim. There are two different opinions in the numbers. 400 benches. 700 seats were added for the new Talmidim. There were many people that wanted to come learn who didn't meet up to the standards of Gamliel, but now they were allowed into the Beis Medrash because it wasn't Azariah. So the Gemara tells the story. How did Rav Gamliel react to these changes? So to Gemara, he was disturbed. He was very disturbed. Maybe look how many people came to learn. How many people was I holding back from learning Torah? However, he was revealed to in a dream that he saw a bunch of white, very nice pure, clean white jugs on the outside, but in the inside, they're full of ashes, they're black. So, in other words, which is trying to give them a message that, these people are coming to learn, but look what's inside of them. You're right. It's got to be, if they're not touching Kabbalah. And therefore, the Torah is not really being given over in the correct form. So, in the dream, calmed him that you shouldn't be concerned about what he felt. However, the Gemara says, "V'lohi," but that's not the truth. In the Shemaim, they decided Lasuvi Daita, but nevertheless, it wasn't Azariah did the right thing by allowing the other Talmidim in. Eventually, Torah will be mashpia them to improve the insides as well. Tana 88, so that day that they opened the doors, the public, they were learning Meseches Eidius, right? There's a Meseches in Zika, and then there's Eidius. We don't learn that so much in Yeshiva, but they learned Meseches Eidius that day. There's a lot of different topics that come up that we testify on in that Mesechta. And then, in fact, I didn't we say Boy Bayam, we always refer to this day of Elazar Zaria taking over the Beis Medrash. There are such siyata d'shemaya that day. There was no halacha that they were not able to explain. Rav Gamliel, even Gamliel himself, who was removed from his post, he still came to learn Beis Medrash. He still participated. I feel shocked. After a lot of money, he didn't refrain from coming to Beis Medrash. I feel shocked. He was there the entire day, from morning to night, steiging in Beis Medrash, learning the new halachas that they're learning under Elazar Zaria. So on that day, there was a shaila, a Yehuda ger amoini v'lifneim. That is someone that was a ger and an amoini. And there's a big shaila, and he wants to know, he wants to get married, he wants to come and be accepted, is he's allowed to get married. The problem is he's an amoini. So Amud HaYomi, so he said, I came with the shaila. He said, Amud HaYomi, mutter, either mani, or mutter lova b'kal. Am I permissible? Amalei, Rabbi Gamliel, also, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're Amayni is also the Lord B'kal. Very, very straightforward psak. You're Amayni. You can't. Amalei Yeshua, so here Yeshua disagreed, mutter, that's the Lord B'kal. Amalei Gamliel, this is a fush pasuk. What is it argue on this? He says it. We asked him, where are you from? Where's your, you're from Amayni. Where's your previous address here? Amayni. Can't come. Amalei Rabbi Yeshua. 1 second. Let's analyze what's going on though. Do you really think that today, where the location of Ammon and Moab is really populated by the same people of what the Torah is talking about, Ammon v'Amayni? For all the Sancheriv, Melech Ashur, who built this Kolumis, the same way Sancheriv, we know Sancheriv, he took out the 10 Shvatim, he was Mevalbel, all the Umas. Shenemar, for us the Gulas Amin, but he's the same Shusti v'Orech Ka'aber Yoshvit. Plus it says he took out all the different. He went in and he took out all the different ummahs from the different borders and he changed everything around. The Parish, the rule of Parish. Now we have a rule. Now it's true. He mixed it up. So theoretically there might be some Amin over there. There might be someplace else. We don't know who's there. Who knows who's there? But called the Parish, rule of Parish. We have a rule. Whenever you have something which is mixed up, a suffix in what it is, so we say Rov. Call the Parish Rov people are not money, even in that place. Everything was mixed up. But for them, what do you mean? It's not true. It's true that he did that, but it says Achakein Ashiv Shvus Bnei Amoy. No Hashem. Doesn't the pasuk say that I will return those that of Bnei Ammon, the capture of Bnei Ammon, return them to Ammon. So maybe so Hashem returned them for Shavu. Amud Yeshua, Yeshafti Shvus Bnei Yisrael. Amisrael, Adayin Lo Shavu. Did all the Jewish people that were missing come back? The Shvatim, Adayin Lo Shavu. So it's the pasuk. Eventually, it's true, but not that pasuk is not referring to now. So that was the argument. And when the Bezdin, when the Sanhedrin heard this argument, miyadi tiru the Bekal, they accepted Rabbi Yeshua, and he's right. It's good taina. Okay, so now that's Adkan. That's the story of what happened that day in the Beis Medrash. Now the second part of the story tells us how did Rabbi Gamliel react to this. What happened? How's Rabbi Gamliel going to deal with this machlekes and with Yeshua? Again, remember the main issue. What happened was a machlekes between Rabbi Gamliel and Yeshua on several issues, which eventually Yeshua was insulted, and because of that they decided it was too much, and they had to remove Rabbi Gamliel from his post. So Amar Gamliel Hoyel v'Hachi Havi Israel v'Faisir B'Chol Yeshua. I'm going to go and appease Yeshua. We shouldn't have machlekes anymore. We shouldn't have titles on me. Kimotu the base. So he goes to his house. Chazino la'ashisa the base. Now he says a strange thing. He sees the walls in his house are black. Walls are not usually black. Walls usually, when they're painted or even if they're just plastered, it's white. So what's going on? It could be that you're a blacksmith. You do such difficult labor. Which there's so much pollution and black in your house. Amalei, he says to him, yes. He says, the Dutch department. So, woe is the generation that you are the leader. That she had to your day with Tzan Shotin Chomen. My response to him, yes, you should have known that. You should know that this is what Talmidim do for Parnasa, because they have no other means of Parnasa. So they're forced to do this work in their house, even though it's obviously very uncomfortable to be doing in your house. You don't know about Farnsin, Remain Zaynim. With what do they sustain? Okay, he says, listen, I understand. I came to you. I'm asking you to forgive me. So he didn't listen, he ignored him. Also, he says, say b'shvil Abba. You, my father, was also the Nasi. Pious. So that worked. That worked. Well, if I now they said, okay. So now the next time is, okay, now he has a title. So now really, I should go back and I should get my job back. So he says, so how are we going to do this? Me Amru, who's going to go? Man lema v'leilu rabbanan. Amru kovis, there was a certain kovis over there, a guy who wanted to do laundry. Ana azilna. I'll go. Sholach lahu, she was sent him. The baby sent him with a message. Please give over the following message to all the Talmidei Chachamim. Man de lavish mada yilvish mada, man de lavish mada yema, man de lavish mada. He gave a mashal. Shlach matra. He gave a mashal. The Nasi obviously wears a specific garment, a uniform. It's a mashal from the Nesivos. The Nesivos is his position and his just like what he wears. So he says the one that wears the mada, that wears this uniform, should wear it. The one that doesn't wear it should tell the one who wears it, the one who usually wears it. That means this Elazar is going to tell the one that wears it to me to love it to shlach madcha. I'm going to say, take off. No, you take it off, and I'm going to wear it. He's saying it rhetorically. That's not appropriate. It's appropriate that the one who wears it, the one whose job it is, should have it back. And so Amalur Rabbi Akiva heard this, and he wasn't willing to give in so fast. The Rabbanan, Truki Goli, the Rabbanan. You know what? Lock the doors. I don't want to hear this business. Just lock the doors. Truki Gali. Close the doors. We're afraid of Gamaliel. Had a lot of different avadim. He was a very wealthy man. And we don't want his people to start coming in and making a fuss that he should, making Havganot. We don't need protests right now. So let's lock the door. So I'm going to be sure. So you know what Yeshua says? I hear what Gamaliel is saying. You know what? Mutiv the Akim the Ezel Anil Gabayu. I'm going to go myself. I'm going to explain to them that Gamaliel is right. He has to be reinstated. Also, Tarif Above Amalei, and he said again. He uses another mashal, so a similar mashal he used the first time. Mazav and Mazav. Mazav refers like in the Beis Hamikdash, right? The Kohen, the son of the Kohen, is the one who's sprinkling the mechatos, the parduma, right? Mazav and Mazav Yazeh. He who is the son of the one. So here was the Gamliel. Remember, was the Nasi, was the son of the Nasi. He should be the one doing it. V'she'enu le'mazav lo ben mazav, yom le'mazav ben mazav, memecha memora ve'afrecha afar makla. He's going to say to him, and he's going to say to the one, he's going to say to the mazav ben mazav that memecha memora ve'afrecha afar makla. He's going to be the one to say that what your water is memora or not, whether it's appropriate. What business do you have doing this? You should let Rabbi Gamliel come back. Amud Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Yeshua, so Akiva says to Yeshua, Nispaista, are you appeased? Klum asinu ela b'shvil kvoitcha. So if you're appeased, we did this for you. So you're right. If you're the one that's appeased, we can in fact go back and reinstate Rabbi Gamliel to the Nesivos. So we'll go to his door and I'll say, what are we going to do? Now what are we going to tell him? That's not so pashut because we have a problem. Navre, we're going to dismiss Rabbi Nazaria from his position. That's a problem because we learned it's going to be a mind and Kaddish for the reading. You can never lower a person from his position. Nidrash ma chodesh habsa. Now, if we'll say that you'll darsh in 1 week, ma chodesh habsa, we'll switch it. We'll have alternate. It's not going either. You have to remember, the Gamliel is rightfully the Nasi here. And it was his Nesivos. So to have somebody else alternating with him now is even more uncomfortable. And maybe for some reason till now, the fact that we were willing to fire it, that was okay. We decided that we had to do that. But to have two people, ostiknui, that's looking for trouble. That doesn't work. Elalitrashim Gamliel, plus the Shabse, but Rabbi Gamliel should darsh in 3 weeks. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah chodesh Shabse. V'hayru damamar Shabbos shami ha'isa. And that's what they would say. Which Shabbos? Whose week was it? Rabbi Elazar's ha'isa. V'hayru Talmud. Whose was Rabbi Elazar's week? Was it Talmud? Now Gemara was like, by the way, you want to know who that yesterday we had a Talmud that asked the question. The Talmud yesterday that asked this question, started this whole tumult, was Rav Shimon ben Yochai. He was the one in Beis Medrash. Okay, something more vital, a little vital. A few minutes. It says in the Mishnah that now a person who waits so long during the day to bring it to bring the korban musaf, or for that matter, we're talking about not the korban here, we're talking about the tefillah, so musaf, the daven musaf, if you wait so long, is nikra pesheya. You can daven, yes, but you're still called acting inappropriately. There comes time when you can daven mincha already, and you can still have to daven musaf. So since mincha shezut today was in a mincha is tadir. So mincha that even though musaf could have been earlier, but now at this point where there's also mincha is tadir, mincha precedes musaf. Rabbi Yehuda even no, mispal shel musaf, mispal shel mincha, for a different reason. Rabbi Yehuda l'shitase, he also have shav v'shayis. You're running out of time, right? We said the other day shav v'chalal, but shizu mitzvah overis, shizu mitzvah ein overis, because you have a risk of missing musaf, so do it right away. With mincha, you have much more time. We paskin that you can daven musaf all day, so then you daven mincha first. Reb Zera, when he was he was too weak to learn. Sometimes he was just too weak. So what am I going to do? So he said, I'll sit in the door of Reb Nosson bar Tuvia. And Amr, he said, and this is all the Rabbanan are coming here, they're coming to learn, or Shires, whatever. The Rabbanan are coming, Talmid Chachamim, Oz, Ekom, Mikamaya, I will stand in front of them, and what's the purpose of that? V'kabla Agra. Because I can't learn Torah, I want to honor Torah. Nafik also, Nosson bar Tuvia, Mana Malacha ben Midrash. Now, so once he was already there, he asked him what's going on in the Beis Medrash. We don't pass Rabbi Yehuda, we pass Rabbi Mincha first, as we just said. He says, who is this? Who said that shiur in the Beis Medrash? Who was the one who said Allah? Rabbi Yechanan? Yeah. Rabbi Yechanan said, Tana minei Abba Zimrin. If Rabbi Yechanan, I'm chazing it 40 times. That's a great halacha. Amalek, why are you so excited about this? 40 times. So either two possibilities. It's because it's chadahi. This is the only thing you heard from Rabbi Yechanan, so this is a special halacha for you. Or maybe it's new. Something new. You never heard this before. Meaning, it's new, the fact that it's Rabbi Yechanan. That's how Rashi learns. You didn't realize there was a Yechanan that said this. It's new. Amalei, he says, in fact, Charitahi, it's new. I thought it was a Mishum Levi that said that. So I'm very excited about it. I want to go make sure I get that clear. I went over it 40 times. So